I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the meeting will be audio taped by our secretary. And the New York Times is here also. We'll open with public comments. Buddy Swissell?
Yes.
You have the floor, sir.
All right. Well, thank you. My name is Buddy Swissell, and I wanted to propose a sign up at Craft Beer. I don't know if everybody can see that there. This is a digital sign, and we've been working for a few months here to try to find a way for this because it didn't seem to be rules that fit it. The digital sign is strictly an on-premise sign. In other words, it's not designed to be a billboard. It's small, it's 5'10", it's not a billboard. And it's not going to sell any space to anybody else except who's in that plaza. And I know that there's no zoning there, so I want to follow the rules and find how do I get something like that approved for the restaurant. They're going to use it to show their menu, their food, their events and such. And again, it's on an existing structure, an existing pool. I'm not putting up a new structure. It's smaller than the other ones that are in town. It's just a way to try to find a way to make it fit. So I'm here before the board to find the process that I would need to go through to see if I can get this approved. Can I answer any questions?
Obviously, we do have a billboard ordinance, but I have.
If I may interrupt just for a second, it's not a billboard.
I understand that, but I mean, that's what we call our ordinance, so I mean, there's other stipulations to it, but I'll, you know.
Okay.
Actually, it says words, signs, and.
Doesn't, okay, all right.
Yeah, this is an on-premise sign. We're not selling space. It's not a profit sign. I'm interrupting you.
So I have the application and I sent it to Andrew, and Andrew said that it did not meet the size requirements.
Andrew,
I'm
will be
not
two
exactly
things.
sure.
I couldn't find the size requirements, but he said the height. I said, well, it's already an existing structure with a sign above it, so height shouldn't be an issue on it. And it is smaller than the other ones I see in town. So I was trying to find a way. I assume there's a process, and he said there was no zoning there, so he didn't know the process of what I would do to get it approved for this particular restaurant.
Okay, ordinance?
Yeah, I'm looking at that.
Okay. I haven't read it for just a while.
What is the square footage of the sign?
50 square feet.
50 square feet?
This is 5 feet
And
high
it's
by
going to be able
10
to
feet
be
in length.
shut off between 11 and 6?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh, well, let me back up. Whatever your rules are, they want to follow.
Well, it is here. It says aluminum signs must be turned off between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m.
So I think being a bar restaurant, they might be asking, since there's no residential in the area, and I'm saying might because I don't know, this is the first I've heard of this, that they might want it to be a little bit later and then it turns up on the 6th. You
Yeah,
know?
the only houses that are across the street up on the hill.
Are there our houses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, as far as I know, there is the house directly across from there is vacant, and it has been vacant.
Right, now I think that their craft beer sign stays on until 2.
Yeah.
And so does the bank, so I'm just assuming, and they're on that property, and they stay on, so I assume.
True, and a lot of those have been grandfathered in, unfortunately. They've
Right.
been there before the ordinance was in place.
If you go to that point, when it was Mr. O's, anybody who would be coming in, they took Mr. O's sign down and put the craft sign up. It would be grandfathered in also.
Yeah, things change.
So, and you said it's going to be 50 square feet.
Yes, sir.
That's 5 by
10.
5 by 10.
Yes, sir. Smaller than the sign that's up there.
Yeah.
This is, catch up to date, this is our council president.
I'm sorry.
This is Mr. Swissell. He's proposing a
Yeah,
sign
let me
to show you in front of the craft house.
Our customer is Craft House, it's a restaurant bar in the area, and they're interested in a message board to advertise their specials. They are not interested in selling space. This is not a billboard or State of Pennsylvania calls it off-premise advertising device. It's not that, it's going to be strictly the advertised bar, restaurant. And so they wanted something, this is on an existing structure, I'm not putting up a new structure. It's smaller than the other boards that are in the area. And they're just looking, we want to find the process to get it approved. We've been trying for a few months, and we haven't been able to find that out. We just wanted to be able to see what we could do.
Is it going to be illuminated on one side?
It's a double-sided sign, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's 5 by 10, but it's, on each side. As you can see by the picture. And the one above it is probably, I don't know, it's probably 7 by 7.
It's not going to be over 35 feet high.
No, it's only going to be 7, 8 feet off the ground.
Yeah, so you're in compliance there.
Yeah, that's what I said. I knew we were with the height because it already had an existing structure up there.
Keith Lawson is the owner,
Yes, nice guy.
and Keith has brought a lot to this community over there. Not only does he serve food, he also donates a lot of charities around here. I know we have an ordinance, the ordinance came into effect several years ago. I know from the paper that regarding a couple of signs that were too big and caused some problems. I can't see where this sign creates a problem. I think that sign actually complements that area over there. And he's really built that up. It's incredible how he built that up so quick. There's always an exception to the rule. And I believe, personally, it just for mine, and I see nothing wrong with the sign.
I agree. I think if we're following, if we're in the guidance of the ordinance, I would follow.
Yeah, you're following,
Yeah.
he's more than 500 feet from any of the residents, which is asking here. So everything that he's asking for falls in compliance with what.
The only issue we may have is the time frame. If it says 11 o'clock.
Well, yeah, the time frame.
We may have to work on that.
Again, exception to the rule, he's a restaurant.
I understand, Bob, but we gotta follow the orders. If we got 15, I don't want down the road and say, somebody else said they want to put a sign up, why can't I have it on at midnight? I have no problem with that.
How long is that? Or they fall under the grandfather?
It's grandfathered.
Well, I just know that from previous, the one that's up here that shined into the community that was really bright, that, they were really upset that the brightness of it lit up their community. So they dimmed it to the lowest.
I was going to tell you, one of the solutions here, in fact, it's the one that I like because I agree, these signs are too bright at
And
night.
you do have a few homes over there and there's no trees.
So there's two things we've done, I didn't interrupt that.
That's okay.
We use a spread LED, which means it's bright here, and it's not right over here, because it has all the light right here, so we eliminated the glare on the sides, and we turn it down to 10% at night of its capacity. 10% at night actually works for the sign because it's easier to read, because when they're too bright, they do this to you. So that is a solution we could try and let you judge, turning it down to 10% at 11 for a few hours, and see if that solves it. Now, if it doesn't, we want to be in compliance. Keith does not want to fight or anything.
Right.
But turning it down 10% is a solution. It's actually, I think, better for the customer.
I believe if he falls within the orders, we don't even have to vote on it. We can just,
Well, if we're gonna, you're right, but I think if we're gonna make the exception to the brightness, the 10%, we ought to at least make a motion to approve that, so that he knows that we allowed it for a 60-day period. Then if it's not a problem, we just say, okay.
For the brightness. Yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine.
And it can go off the same time as the craft light itself.
Yes, sir.
All right?
So it will go completely off.
At 2 o'clock and back on. It won't be 6, it's probably going to be 10 or 11. There's no reason to turn it on at 6.
On the high road.
I'll entertain a motion for such. Yeah.
For it to go down to 10%, what time it,
2 o'clock.
no, 10% dim.
Oh.
at-
10% at 11 and 0 at 2.
Yeah.
Or should I
Why
say
can't we
dark?
say like it dark?
Dark,
I
yeah,
think-
because during the winter, it's going to be 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I
Let's
agree.
do dark.
It's too dark. And we can
That
even
gives us-
put it on the top, on a sensor, it would do it itself.
Yeah, okay. For
reasonable.
That's for that's for the 10%, like, they can't put a sign up there and in 60 days if we don't like it, take it down. That's-
We're not saying sign, we're saying the light.
The light,
It's the
okay.
brightness.
Okay.
The luminary process.
What is the cost of the permit for, it says in a billboard, so very curious about the cost.
I don't think there was
There
a fee
wouldn't
that
be.
applied to this,
Okay,
stuff kind of stuff, yeah. Just for a larger
that's for a billboard.
billboard, yeah.
Okay.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, board, I appreciate it. God bless you.
I'll give this sign back to you, then the application, so you know
No,
that.
we won't.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Comments?
So, that's the only public comments. Motion for the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Mayor's report.
Well, please, what?
For the month of April, we have, in traffic, there were 14 traffic citations with 8 warnings. In non-traffic, there were disorderly conducts and bad checks. In criminal charges, there were thefts, arrest warrants, drugs, drug paraphernalia, possession of narcotics, possession with intent to deliver narcotics, and DUIs. And in the ordinance portion, we've done investigations for nuisance vehicles and large item trash due to the things that have been set out here for the spring. In our public notice portion of it, school will be ending soon. There'll be children out playing in the driveway areas and outdoors. Drivers need to be aware of the potential dangers of those children and be a little bit more careful than they normally are during the daylight hours for the kids being out. Along with that, we've done some investigation into the crosswalk areas that cross over Butler Road. Those areas currently have a switch to them. The pedestrian can come up and hit the switch, cross over the lane of traffic, but it does not necessarily stop all traffic at all times. In other words, if it's a straight through lane and the individual is going straight across the road, they can cross there. But if that individual is turning to the right, they have to be aware the vehicles still have a green light to be able to make those turns. In talking to PennDOT, they have come up, if there's X amount of pedestrian traffic, then they shut down for a period of 30 to 60 seconds while there's a crossing there. Currently, they just changed so that the individual has a right of way to walk there. The drivers are supposed to be mindful of the pedestrians because they have a right to cross. And the pedestrians need to be mindful of the drivers because there's a lot of them that don't pay attention or don't see the light or anything that happens. They can get struck with a car. But PennDOT currently has the say-so with regard to that particular set of circumstances, and they're saying that they're not changing the traffic light or the signal pattern at that area. So there's an area there at Arthur. There's one down by Pony Farm Road. There's one at Butler Road and 268. So those areas that cross the state highway with, an assisted pedestrian light to it are going to be just as they are.
Can I add to that, Paul?
Yes, sir.
I was involved in one of these pedestrian vehicle crossings just last week, and I think it was brought up the hall. A girl was jogging right alongside my car as I got down to the intersection of the old Butler Road and Arthur Street. She hit the button, I had the green light, after I left where I was parked. And I went to make the turn, and she was from here to Bob to me. She had the green, I had the green. And I was thinking that you hit that button, it usually is a delayed time. Well, none of these walks are on a delayed time. As soon as you hit them, you have 3.5 seconds to get across the highway. And it's gonna be up to the driver. If you have green and you see somebody crossing, you're gonna have to come to a complete stop. Now, when you see somebody coming down Butler Road at 30 mile an hour, and somebody happens to hit that button and starts to walk right across there, what's gonna happen? Or somebody in a wheelchair, you know, a wheelchair person's not gonna get across there in 3.5 seconds. And as Bob had stated, Rick and I both talked with PennDOT in Indiana, and they will not change it at all. They said the only place in this area that there is a light that is longer is in the downtown Butler main drag, and they have to have at least 100 people an hour to cross that street. Then they'll think about changing the time on it. Up until then, we're just hoping nobody gets killed or gets hurt crossing.
And are there any white paint on the road that says that that's a crossing?
I don't know if there used to be or not.
As far as the crosswalk areas go, that's what we had also discussed with, getting a price on, having some of those redone commercially because they would last longer than just our guys trying to do them with the paint sprayer portion of it, because they use a plastic coat paint which adheres to the highway much better and lasts a much longer period of time. I think Rick is currently getting information about what that's going to be as far as cost-wise go. And we're just, going at it from that particular point. What we do suggest is that we put a notice into the newspaper with regard to that, since it's become, something that's been brought up as an issue, and so the public have some kind of knowledge for their responsibilities, and the drivers have some kind of knowledge for their responsibilities, in those crossing areas, so that, and we can get something out there so people can see or know or hear about it, whatever kind of newspaper ads or an article or whatever else that identify these particular set of circumstances.
Are we gonna be doing a newsletter again?
I'm not for right now.
With Henry's incident, who would have been at fault?
What?
With Henry's incident, who would have been at fault?
It depends on the traffic portion of it. If you were both going straight, at that point, you're going to be able to miss each other. If the pedestrian's going straight and the vehicle's turning to the right, then the driver of that vehicle is responsible. Now, and the issue or the problem that comes up with that is if somebody presses the button and their expectation is, now it's telling me that I can cross freely, and I go ahead and walk out in front of that, and I'm not paying attention, the driver has a green light, we're, the catch-22, who's at fault? The driver's supposed to be more responsible for the motor vehicle because the pedestrian doesn't have the speed or the accuracy to get out of the way of, a fast-moving piece of traffic. So, we're kind of in a bad situation there, and, no fault of the borough's portion of it, but that's just the way the traffic was designed.
Get back to our newsletter. We didn't talk about, there wasn't much to change on the newsletter unless we just changed spring and summer of 2018. There's not about the other one.
Boss, is there any entities out there that can help put some pressure to maybe get this changed with this state? Like anybody, Jeff Powell or anybody can, maybe?
Well, sometimes PennDOT is an immovable object.
This is statewide though, isn't it? Or is it just?
And, Bob, who did you talk to?
Pardon?
Who did you talk with?
Henry and Rick had talked
We talked to a girl over in Indiana, in the traffic department, yeah.
Well, that's your next thought, if you're not getting any satisfaction from PennDOT, then you would go to your state representative or the state senator.
But it's just, she said these lights are like this all over the state.
Well, she says.
I know she said.
And, we say. One thing we do is by creating a letter of concern to both our representative and our senator, is that if this accident does occur, it's documented
Yeah, exactly.
as a result of the traffic pattern down there and the water signs.
I don't know what Canning's street crossings are.
Well, Canning has a green light and you can cross, but you also have the sign up that's lit that says pedestrian has a right of way.
Yeah,
And they don't have that already.
No, it's just like a hand and so forth and green.
So you're saying draw a letter, get it to, or
I think we need to draw up a letter that tells the complaint, and let's not make it a 5-6 page report. That's not what they want to
Something
read.
simple that they.
Couple simple, short paragraphs, and that we have talked with PennDOT without any success of trying to remedy the problem, and ask them if they check into it.
I'll make that motion to have, if Henry, if you're willing to steer that with Bob, and get a letter drawn up.
Yeah.
To our senator and
Does it
our,
need to be notarized, do you think, before
No.
we send it to them?
No.
No?
since you two have already discussed what you need, what needs changed, I mean, I'd like to get that, get that letter to send to the senator and our state representative, Mr. Powell. I'll make that motion.
We have a second?
I'll second.
May I question something? Because it does confuse me, like even on Butler Road, how the crosswalk is there, but there's no sidewalk. And
What was that?
how there's a crosswalk with the light for a push button for people to walk, but then there's no sidewalk. I thought, when they put them in, I thought they had to have sidewalks.
All you have is a handicap little ramps, that's all that's there.
That's all state approved though, Paul, so we, we're doing.
We can't have the sidewalks. But
That's just courtesy so people can get across there to get over to Belmont and
That's what the whole idea was.
cross over to get up over the hill.
Like,
That
where
people
that being
can do
discussed.
walk.
Well, thank you, I just,
All right, do we need to discuss? All in favor? Yes, yeah, Vicky, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Any committee reports? Buildings? Public Works?
all right, as of May 7th, give you a little rundown of what we've been doing. Pine Hill, Sedgwick Avenue, replaced collapsed drain. Harrison Street 200 block, we had to replace 40 feet of drain line, which had been damaged years ago. That's the one in front of Gary Heckman's house there. Harrison Street, first collapsed drain. Nixon, which has been an ongoing problem, we found out that the roots had gone up inside the pipe, and we were able to cut them out and open that all up. So that's the main construction for the month so far. Concerning paving, we are going to meet with John Poperoff. He has to come over, he's from PennDOT, measure everything up, what we have tentatively to do. Then we'll see what kind of money we have to go ahead and repair or do a blacktopping, probably about August or September. And we do have about 4 other drains to work on as time allows. That's all.
Henry, what's your plans for that, where you did cut across the street there in Harrison, you gonna cover that?
That's all going to be within the pavement.
Okay.
You said, sorry, Pine Hill and Sedgwick Avenue, they did replace some storm?
Pine Hill and Sedgwick,
They did replace?
they replaced a broken line in the catch basin.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else here have any questions for Henry? Finance, insurance, special projects?
No.
Personnel?
We need could have a
I was gonna, yeah,
executive session on that.
Shade tree, Nancy's not here.
I do have one thing for the mentions. Stall's Garage up on Pine Hill, the people who live behind, they're gonna cut down 2 trees, but it's on their property.
Okay.
And I went up and talked with them, and they're gonna take care of that.
Thank you. Did please crime watch?
Our next Crunch meeting is tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here. Something else I'd like to bring up to the newspaper. Could you put it in that when people are done having yard sales or any kind of sales, that they come back and take out the signs that they have up on the posts and poles?
Okay.
yeah, they're, one's not here.
Yeah, and there's some that they put, and then you can't see.
Nikki, did you say you were gonna do anything, changes with the newsroom, your newspaper?
Well, we were gonna get together and go over that.
Well, I'm just saying, the reason why I mentioned, if you
We can
do,
put that in.
consider putting that in.
There could be a few things we probably could add to it.
Okay.
How well attended was your last Crown Watch meeting?
Pardon?
How well attended was your last Crown Watch meeting?
Not too well.
Really?
3 people, 3 people.
Yeah, there was 5 of us.
Yeah.
When is it, tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night
What
at
time?
7 here.
Did you put through that?
Great, we need to have an executive session, and it is, what time is it? It's for personnel reasons
And police department.
and police department. Okay, at 6:58 PM.
Yeah, that's a shame because you know. Yeah, and that's like I said, well, I guess they were. 62. And his birthday is 63. Huh? Yeah, with his dogs, he loves his dogs. His, parents are both gone, I got him, he's close to those, but I know, truck or pieces out there. No, that's not that. And she goes down and puts down in that area, South Poplar. And to serve Dennis over a period of years. They've done that. They said it has something to do with it. They must not like to look at people, that's not like. Well, then you look at his, I mean, that's what they make. I should have seen him, he couldn't do it better than. Well. All right.
This might be something you're talking about.
Yeah, it's sad.
Well,
You were here.
that's-
She hasn't.
This is what-
No, I know he is. Hasn't been any concern about it. Well, the worst rumor is and we, well, I found it out about it last Thursday. Right, I don't know what lady told her about this or. The fire out where?
Huh?
The fire out there.
He was supposed to get that back to me. I haven't got nothing back on that.
He emailed it to me today. I put a copy in here.
No, we're not gonna discuss it.
No, that book,
That's the rumor. I had the book.
in that, in the blue book, there it is. I found it. Well,
In 2011.
This is
I'll look at those papers you gave me, not the title and everything.
Yeah, he just emailed that to me today, there's 2 things.
All right, we're gonna bring the meeting back at 7:41 PM. Do we have any unfinished business?
Yeah, the code book, we were gonna get together, we ever do that? No.
Did you find the other code books in your office? You have two that's.
I have one.
That's 5. There's
And
5
I
more.
asked Cliff about his, and I haven't gotten it yet.
There's 5 books missing then.
Well, if he has one, then there's 6.
Okay.
Well, I don't know,
I don't know.
he hasn't given it to me, so I question.
Well, did he indicate that he had one?
Well, I didn't actually, I told Vicky to ask him, and I haven't seen him, he's away.
Because
He's
there
not
was-
home, so I can't.
Because there was 10 given out on each year.
Do you use that one?
Use mine.
You should have
Yeah, I have
that
one.
one.
Never had one.
That's what I'm using on you.
This is yours.
You were accountable whenever they gave them out. She wasn't there.
I didn't bring any of the next meeting, I'll bring the information that I have on.
The Armstrong County Land Bank Program?
That's the one trying to finish or moving?
Because we have talked about it, and then the county sent the letter, you know.
Did you
asking-
question them on whether or not they would hold off until we discussed
Yes, and there's going to be a meeting, May 11th, this week, at 9:30 a.m. in the Commissioners' Conference Room with the consultant that's in charge of this whole land bank project. She said that there, Bridget Beatty, who works for the planning department, said that there was another municipality who wasn't exactly sure about committing to joining the land bank. So she told them that they could hold off too. So
it? Okay.
if we want to try to get more information or ask questions on it, then maybe someone should.
Well, my understanding was, when they wrote that letter, the one you sent us, that we had to sign it, and there was a cutoff date on it, and I suggested that we go ahead and sign it because of the cutoff date. Then we could discuss it at this meeting. Now, what you're telling me is since then you've called them and they said we could hold off on that
Yeah,
until we discuss it.
yeah, because when the deadline came, I'd only heard from a few people about it, and there were some people still unsure, so.
And my understanding is from the letter that was sent out by the planning department, this meeting on May 11th, is going to be for all the townships or boroughs interested in the land bank. Now,
Yeah.
everything I've gone to so far, and I know Henry's at a couple of those meetings, I think it was,
Yeah.
that land banking is in our favor. And I believe on the letter was not a commitment, that it was our interest. So, you know, we have an interest, we can sign it. We haven't committed ourselves yet, because the committal letter is also going to cost us $500, I believe.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think we can sign it that we have an interest. And then attend the meetings, which we've done so far. I wrote you up the very shallow of what land banking is.
Could
And
you
it's
explain
a-
that to us, excuse me?
Pardon?
Could you explain that to us? What is land banking?
No, I'm not going to do it, I'll tell you what. Because
I mean, just in short
whatever I
terms.
say, well, in a short, if I say it, then it almost commits me, because I don't know everything about it. They have another meeting come up, I'd rather be able to talk to you after that and be able to say, I think.
Okay.
And actually, I believe, once we go to that, and known of the interest we would have, I would ask Katie's first name. Bridget, to come to us and explain it to council. But it has to do with taking these blighted properties that we consider blight, and the previous mayor, Mr. Sabisky, had brought it up a number of times, which back then, a blight covered an area. Blight, it can now be singular and pick up a household that, no, I'm not gonna explain it, because I'm talking
Okay,
about something I think
general.
is generalized, and I don't want to be quoted on it.
Okay,
And I'd just rather bring her to the meeting.
okay.
We can thank him.
Sorry. Get that for paper.
So
However, after the meeting.
So do you want me to, I have the letter of intent ready, and it is signed, so do you want me to
It's not going to cost us any money, so therefore I don't think we need a motion on it. We just agreed that we'd like to be considered to be part of the land banking at this point and go to the meetings and find out what's going on.
Okay. Okay, so again, the meeting is May 11th at 9:30 a.m. in the Commissioner's Conference Room.
And who is all invited? Anybody on council or anybody?
Yes.
Anybody can go to it?
Anybody wants to go to this?
Holly, if you're interested, Holly, if you're interested, understanding it, you can go to the meeting to find out.
And you can explain it to everybody.
All right.
I have one more thing. Well, in the email from Andrew, he said that he spoke with that Mike Tappy from Butler Petroleum regarding a hole in their property, and he advised Andrew that their contractor would be there early this week to survey the situation and see what needs done to fix it. I think who brought it up about the sinkhole?
Well, I know it was a bone of contention a number of times, so I don't know which time, but I know I did. And we were over there last week and fixed it, and we had continued problems. When did they get it done?
Early this week.
Well, that doesn't give me a time today, I'll be there later today.
They don't know what they're gonna, they walk in, I told them I would check on it every day to see if somebody came in there.
They're gonna sign it up and then they're gonna fix it. Right?
They're gonna take somebody, an engineer to come in there and look at it, make an observation, write up an estimate, and then go from there.
Did you see anybody over there?
Yeah, like you're there, call us, call me. If you see them there, call me.
I'll do that.
You called me before.
Yep,
You see them there, call me. I'll go over.
thank you. I don't know, supposedly Mel's is leasing that. Did you hear anything about that?
Pardon?
That property, Mel's is leasing it? I don't know.
I don't know, it's, doesn't have any other unfinished business?
Yes, and it's not, yes, I'm finished. As you know, I handed 20 of the cars, we did have them made up. And they're door hangers with the ordinances on, and if someone's in violation. I think we have all agreed that the police will be handing this out because of the police phone number on it. It includes garbage can orders, removed from door right-of-way, high grass brush, for heavy burning, snow removal, walkway restrictions, dangerous structures, and junk vehicles. There's also a description there for each one of those, or unless it's a complaint that's not on here, the police officer can write what the violation might be. And I think we need to start using this. We talk about it, and sometimes we don't follow through. I think we need to start using it.
The phone number, that's not the police phone number.
I smelled it to everybody, and I've been yanking back on it, says it wasn't, so that's the number.
What do you do is write the phone, his phone.
Well, you can do that, or they can call there. I think you can leave a message, push one, push two, push three. All right, I was going to put your phone number, but I chose not.
Oh, okay. I just don't answer that.
Thanks, Bob, for finding that out.
Yeah, and the things, I think we have to be diligent and put these out.
Yeah.
Especially on these garbage cans, because this is where this is where the skunk problem is coming from.
Yeah, let's listen, we're still in a meeting
Does
here.
the 8577 have an answer machine on it?
Yeah, and my cell phone number.
Who answers it? Who answers that? Can you forward that? Can you get that forwarded to, no, we don't want it, hello? Sorry.
We want every phone call to be forwarded to.
To the police department.
Well, I had to make up the minimum now, because I said, no sooner do we have these, we're gonna find, we want more on it, or we're gonna change something. So we have the minimum.
He can always rate the phone number, the police department phone number on him. I mean, he's not gonna be handing out 20 a day, I would hope not.
Well, I can put them on the description.
Yeah.
Okay, that was it.
I highly suggest, because every one of these is an ordinance thing, except for one I see, these should never be attached to someplace unless a police officer attaches it. Somebody in uniform goes up and puts this on the actual door itself. Because that's gonna show more authority. If somebody, if I go up and pull one on, they're gonna say, who's that? You know what I mean? But I think somebody in a uniform should be attached next to the property. So if we need one attached, instead of saying, hey, let's send Rick up there,
No.
what I'm saying, make sure the police officer gets it.
Well, I thought the whole idea was get these for the police officers
officer.
Right.
Well, just so we're clear on that.
Well, we just wanted to make sure we're clear, I agree, so thank you.
I'll take a bunch of them on and regular time, or this number over here.
All right, anything else under unfinished business?
How about the one-way street we were worried about, you were talking about a couple months ago?
I think this is the order, what about it?
Is it take, it's all done, we're going on right now?
Then we pass it, then we.
No,
No.
Andrew hasn't got that ordinance back.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, we haven't taken care of it, we're waiting for the ordinance to
You
be written up by us.
did, you did, and then you said that there was something wrong in it.
Yeah,
He
the
sent us
sign was
last
going
time,
wrong, the ordinance had the wrong direction on it.
the revised one that he sent last month.
No,
Well, we're gonna have to
He
wait
I'll
for
get
the,
a hold of him
He
tomorrow.
sent it to me for last month's meeting, and I sent it off, and then,
I think there was something on that, it was wrong.
yeah, I don't know.
Her question that needed clarified.
All right, any new business?
Yeah, I have yes, I have a request. The Water Authority has a water line across the highway, crossing from Harrison Street across 422 onto Fern Drive around Flint Tire. There's a line that goes under the highway, it's an 8-inch line that feeds down to, over the hillside, down to Appwell, over to the Sewage Authority, and to Asbury Graphite. The line was replaced under the highway a number of years ago, but it deadheaded the new pipe onto the old pipe 10, 15 feet across the highway. We're having people parking on the berm there, and that happened last year. That pipe in there is from the 1940s, and it's never been replaced. We haven't been able to get a grant to get a, Water Authority has not been able to get a grant to get the pipe replaced from that point down over the hillside. It's very fragile. We want to eliminate parking on that particular corner on the berm. We repaired the pipe last year, and people continue parking over there to a point where they parked off to the side of the construction and end up getting their vehicles stuck. I'm not blaming any one individual. I'm just saying what I'd like to do is get a no parking sign over there. What's it gonna take us to put a no parking sign on that corner, on the other side of the driveway to that first house on the left, the red brick?
Thanks, house.
Yeah, Fink's old house. Over to where the, it starts going down over the hillside. We've got an area over there probably, I didn't measure it, but I'd say about 100 feet.
In
Probably less
the
than
past, we just had the street committee just put up 2 signs.
Can we
Put
do
up a
that?
sign.
We'll get there, put up.
Okay, I didn't know.
You have
You have to go.
But you have to have an ordinance.
Yeah, because you can't enforce it if you don't have the ordinance. We can put the signs up,
Put it on.
but we can't ticket anybody for it.
Is that West County Moore?
Yeah.
Where she
Yeah.
lives?
Yeah,
Access.
back there too.
Just, yeah.
Back there.
Because they don't
Those
cross
parking-
tax, like by sports, where sources live? Yes.
Where the sit, where, Deloise is, the roadway behind it, the delineation line.
The people parking there, is
I
that
thought
people live
that
there?
Well,
Randy's house was the only house.
Now, we asked them not to, they have not been.
Okay.
But they have
I
parties.
thought Randy's house was the only house in the.
Well, I was just saying, if it's up on Thursday, people already talking.
Well, I think we can put a no parking sign without creating the ordinance, but if you want the ordinance, then we can enforce it.
It's Randy's house. I didn't think that was.
And up Farm Drive, and right there.
But I thought Deloise's was in North Buffalo.
No, I think Delways is in this one.
No, Deloise is in West Canada.
They are.
The alley behind there
Okay.
is the delineation line, the border line. The road actually itself is in North Buffalo.
Fink's Old House, Randy's, and Leach's, Deloise, they're all in West
Yeah,
County.
the 2 board houses are in East Franklin, and the registered houses are in East Franklin.
I mean, you can put the signs up and see what happens, and then we can go forward with the ordinance.
Let's just do it this way. I'll make a motion that we install 2 no parking signs at the intersection at Mr. Ballard stated where the old water line is on Fern Drive, for a distance of approximately 100 feet.
No parking between
No
sides.
parking between signs.
It's a fragile line, it's been broken, and they're hard to repair.
So that's with an ordinance included, because you can't enforce it, right?
We can't enforce it, but let's start without the ordinance. Then if we find out people will continue violation, we'll do the ordinance. Unless you want to go straight for the ordinance, I don't care.
Well, I think if you're gonna do something, you want to do it the right way, that's my opinion. You know, why not have Andrew draw it? What's it gonna, get it in, get it, do an ordinance?
Include the
I'll
ordinance.
rescind my motion now. I'll talk to Andrew, you guys have it drawn up
With the ordinance.
with the ordinance.
Thank you.
Anything else in business? Thank you, Dennis. Motion to pay the bills? Oh, you have something?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. No, I'm sorry.
I'd like to make a motion that Carly puts an ad in the paper for a new borough employee
Street department.
for the street department.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Could we put a date on when that has to be involved?
Yes, it should be. About 15th of June.
You
We
want
want
the
to have it
higher
before the
or
next
not?
meeting.
Huh?
We want to have it before the next meeting.
What is it?
Today's
Seven.
Everything but the 20th.
Okay. That's a Sunday.
Turn by the 20th of May.
Resumes.
No resumes in by.
Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Let's look at the calendar.
Let's put in for the 18th. Sunday's like
That's a Friday. That's not good, that's very, that's only,
Well, she can get it in.
can we, all right.
The port is in the city, you're coming.
I want to give you this all. How much did you get, 500?
I think it's too good.
Do we have to put that in?
I don't think you do, I don't think you have to. No, nobody else does, and that's when they come up for interview. Any other new business? Motion to pay the bills.
So many.
Second.
All in favor? Any letters to be read?
No.